Today we're having a different episode, and we're going to be looking at something very peculiar to a Christian's life, especially to many of our Christian families who are struggling to maintain their home, despite the fact that they pray consistently and they try as much as possible to make sure that they have a Christian home. Many prayed, many fasted, many goes to mountaintop to make sure that they sustain their home or actually get a partner. But at the end of the day, they couldn't sustain it. Some marriages end in 2 months, 6 months, 1 year. And it's very predominant among the Christians that maintaining Christian homes is far from what it used to be in those days. Today, I'm going to be having my group of friends, amazing ones, and I'm going to start from my right side. Is
Multiple.
immediate right,
I'm Christy.
and after Christy,
And Darlene.
and then on my left side.
Apostle Julius is here.
And I'm Florida.
So we're going to start with the same topic, like we said. Moduka is going to lead us. What do you think? Why is prayer not working to keep the marriage afloat?
So the first thing I would say is that marriage should not only be reliant on prayer alone. Marriage should have a lot to do with character development, compatibility, effort, and a whole lot of things from both sides. Because it's not just about praying and praying and praying when both parties have so many flaws in their character. Fine, nobody can be perfect, but we can strive towards perfection every day. We can always strive to become a better version of ourselves. Most times, people would say, oh, I want somebody that will accept me the way I am. I think that is a big misconception. Nobody wants to accept you with all your baggages and whatnot that you refuse to work on. So, individually, we should try to maintain a character, not a perfect character, but at least a character worthy of, that when you have your partner, even though your partner might know that you're not perfect, but at least your partner will know that, yes, this person that I'm getting married to, or this person I'm married, he or she is not perfect, but at least they are working towards that perfection every day. On the contrary, a lot of people don't want to work on their character. They just say, oh, I want somebody that will accept me the way I am. Nobody would accept you the way you are with all your shit and your baggages. So it's not just about prayer alone. So most people, they misconstrue this thing. They go to mountain, they do everything. Are you working on your character? Are you working towards becoming that perfect version of yourself?
I would like to interject here. I've seen so many people that are not Christians, and there's no emphasis on working on their character, and they still have a happy home compared to some Christian counterparts that they do their wedding, extravagant and everything. They prayed, and at the end of the day, within how many months, weeks, years, just few years, they already divorced. Some even is up to a year, and I'll not be like comparing, like, see this Christian home, why is it so short? Why is it not bliss there? Compared to people that are secular, like a secular wedding. And the emphasis is not on building up their home or their marriage or themselves, building up themselves as an individual. Could it be love?
Yeah, basically, marriage is one of the oldest institutions in the world, when God created this man and woman, He created them mutually for fellowship. That's why God was always, visiting them, fellowshipping with them, So, people say marriage is for endurance. God didn't really design marriage for endurance. He designed it for enjoyment, which eventually will lead to procreation. That's why God said, go ye and multiply. Alright? So, like my sister was saying, a whole lot of characters will be put in place for prayer to work. But in the garden, if you watch them very well, the prayer was not the center thing. Fellowship was the center thing. They were always having fellowship with God. But all of a sudden, the woman decided to hear something alien. Did God say, you shall not eat? So he moved out of fellowship. So by reason of moving out of fellowship, something went wrong. So man was essentially a spirit, he has a soul, he lives in the body.
You're saying because there was no fellowship, that's why marriages are breaking.
Yeah. There's no fellowship because if you permit me, I want to say a word. I don't know. Sexual intimacy is a form of fellowship.
But these are people that pray and they have everything in place and things are working well. They started with prayer and at the end of the day, they still don't. Something came in between and they fell out. So I don't think it has to do with fellowship. It has more than just being a fellowship.
Of course, we are on the same line. It does, of course, it's more than fellowship. That's why I'm agreeing with my sister that character plays a whole lot of
So, Apostle, if I can come in.
Yeah, please.
With everything that everybody has said, I think the foundation is faulty. And if the foundation is faulty, what can the righteous do? I think we have lost the value of marriage, the value of the Christian vows. You say you want to do marriage for better, for worse. You want to do it for richer, for poorer. But now, is it what is happening? So everybody is married for the wrong reasons. Why did you get married to your wife? Why did you get married to your husband? So for women is money. For the men is beauty. So the foundation is already having issues. And I think if we can go back to the reason of marriage, it's not about money or beauty or shape. It's a commitment between two people. It's a foundational, it's something that you take. You don't look at anything. You look at two people that are ready to work together. You say for richer, for poorer. In sickness or till they'll do your part. Are you willing to stay when there's an issue, you want to run away, you want to get divorced because your husband lost his job, the wife is no longer beautiful, you want to go away. So I think we should go back to the foundation of marriage, to the vows.
Okay,
That is-
I'm going to agree with Enderlin to an extent. You see, this institute we call marriage, some of us, we don't know what it means. Marriage is a sacred institution, and as such, a lot of us has lost the value of what marriage speaks about. Maybe because of the society, maybe because of what people will say. Some of us, maybe we listen to outsiders more than how we actually want to make sure that Christ has said this is how the institution of marriage should be, but we are deviating from it. So now I'm going to say a story about a couple that, they were doing well from the beginning. They met each other, they were in love, they were a praying couple. They pray together, they go to church together, they were living for Christ. But then a situation came into the marriage, and for better for worse, became something else. The man lost his job in that marriage, and losing his job made him, misbehave.
Okay, can I cut you there? I want to talk about prayer. Prayer is, I think everybody has been talking about prayer. Prayer actually shapes us. It shapes our character. It shapes everything that we do. If you pray, prayer is just like guidance. It's just like a law book. When you pray to God to guide you, to lead you, prayer will actually reshape your life. And you see that there's certain attitude that you put up before, prayer will actually take them away. Let's say I have an old temper. I am temperamental, and I begin to pray to God, to tell God, oh, please, I do not like this attitude and all of that. So if we are intentional about what we are doing, especially with marriage, we're intentional with it, and we'll be like, okay, yes, we're in marriage. Yes, character is good. If you have a bad character, prayer can reshape your life, because prayer is the standard. Prayer is the key, according to the Bible. So if you can pray and you can stand fervently with your prayers and your intention, you're very, very intentional with your requests from God, I think prayer actually has a way of building the marriage more than we know it.
Okay, can I cut it right there? You said prayer.
Yes.
What about those people that even when they're doing wedding, they don't do church wedding, to tell that they don't have a relationship with God? What is that they have working marriage? Like some of them, they have working marriages.
Are you talking about pagans now, or just people that don't go to church?
Yeah,
or
people that don't go to church. Like
do you know that there are certain people
wives.
that even if they don't go to church, sometimes I could just stay in the house. I don't have to kabash. I don't have to do all the old prayer. I will just say, oh, God guide me.
Of course.
God can also hear my request. He can hear. That is prayer.
I think it also has to do with effort. You know, a lot of people now, we don't know how to put in effort when it comes to marriage. Any small challenge, we're already thinking, so not only me now want to bear this body. Any small challenge, we're already drawing our body, but we're not putting in the effort. We're not saying suffer, or you just allow things to go because it's God's will. But let's try. No, we don't. Some partners who don't know how to listen. A woman may be complaining about a certain thing. The next thing you will tell her, you nag too much.
Yes.
Whereas she's trying to tell you, this is what I don't like, or this is what I want to happen. At least listen to her and try.
So
work towards it.
Do you know why that is? Because marriage is transactional.
I think Modupe has something to say. Let's listen to her.
So I want to take it out of the prayer setting and bring it to the secular world now. I feel like the main reason, or one of the problems, is that we feed ourselves too much negativity on social media. If we watch how things have spiraled down from when social media was not in place, down to now that, social media and everybody feels they have opinion. And your opinion, you don't know how people would consume it. Some people don't have a mind of their own. Somebody comes out and say that my husband has done that. You that initially, you weren't thinking if your husband has such character. Then suddenly, you be like, this thing, I see this my husband, so does this thing.
True. Exactly.
So we should be careful things we consume on social media. The negativity is too much. Now, I would say that because as much as there is negativity, there are also marriages that are working. There are also beautiful marriages out there on social media.
Yes.
But why are we feeding ourselves so much negativity? Nobody is perfect. You're coming, like, two people are coming together from different background, different orientation, different settings. So we should be able to meet each other on a pedestrian at an equilibrium. But now, most of the problem we have is you want perfection from your partner, I also want perfection from my partner. We forget that we need to understand that nobody is perfect. We need to just put hands together to make.
I don't know if I can come in now, Modupe. Yes. So I think the issue still boils down to why we're getting married now. I feel it's transactional. It's only when you're doing something with genuine reasons that you think you now work. Even you that for prayers, do you think even if they go in the wrong reason and they pray, it's going to work out? For me, I don't think so.
If you go into marriage for the wrong reasons, and you feel you want to stay in that marriage, of course, yes, you pray.
I beg to differ because it's a wrong foundation.
Yeah, so let me come on your foundation now. You see, in 1 Corinthians 11, I believe, verse 3, the Bible says that Jesus Christ is now our foundation. Okay. Because you said, if the foundation of the righteous be destroyed, what can the righteous do? You see, Jesus has to be the center of our marriages. If Jesus is not the center of our marriages, all we are going to be looking at is error. Yeah. Mistakes. Are you getting what I'm saying now? So, the basic truth is that irrespective of all the mistakes, the error, nobody is perfect. Like we're all moving towards perfection, but is Christ the center of the marriage? So the reason for many breakages is that Jesus Christ is not in the center.
A lot of us we've always placed Christ to be the center of our marriage. We go into this marriage and we pray, we hold God hand in hand. But you see, sometimes problem will come. Most people don't even know how to chase this problem. We just go into the problem because once more, I wouldn't call it small challenge because you don't know how people handle challenges. But because that challenge has come, you will not start putting it on your partner. You will throw your frustration on your partner. You will not make your partner to look like your partner is not the cause of your problem.
Back to my point on character development, because character development is when you look within yourself and be like, oh yeah, I think I have issues on this aspect. I think I get angry easily. I think I don't listen to people. I think I digest things wrongly. Like, we need to constantly look within ourselves to see where, marriage or not, as a society, as an organization, individual, we need to always look within ourselves. So now the problem is when people now feel like they've gotten to a stage where they don't need to learn. So we need to constantly understand that you are learning. We need to keep learning, whether in the church, whether outside the church, whether in marriage, and always look within yourself. Because you can look within yourself and see problem within yourself that, okay, I agree that I have issues on this aspect. Your partner does not even have to bring out that problem before you realize that you have a problem.
Yes.
So now it boils down on your character development. Every day you're striving to become a better version of yourself.
I agree with that.
Character is not enough.
No, character is not enough. Character is enough. If your people is not aligned, it can cause breakages in marriage. Yes, if you guys don't have the same, like you don't have a purpose for that same union. You don't have a purpose for the union. There has to be a purpose in which
Let's finish. So you say character is not enough.
Yes.
So what's enough?
I feel it's just people that have agreed to cleave to themselves, no matter the character flaw, no matter what. It's just you accept this person and that's the final for you.
to what she said,
Yeah.
the character is not enough. I feel like it's a real sort of character. I feel like sometimes it's what marriage also just like endurance. We're able to tolerate, we're able to endure to an extent. It's not every time that you are focused on a person. I can't believe a person can be that bad and not be.
So who is the person that is going to enjoy in that marriage?
Both of
Who
them.
is the partner? Because you cannot always be doing wrong to me and you expect me to enjoy because I'm a Christian. That's a wrong foundation.
There are some things that can't be changed. Like there are some things that cannot be changed.
I say marriage originally is not meant for endurance.
Everybody, so.
Let's look at the case of Abraham sending his servant to his land of nativity. Many times we just see a guy in church, a baby in church, and we feel that because somebody has come to church, he's born again. We may not be of the same tribe. That people are going to church, there's something that are born again. So we saw Abraham sending his servant to go to a land of his nativity to fetch a wife for Isaac. And look at the scenario here. Every other girl saw him, they couldn't fetch water for the camel. It was only Rebecca, right? It was only Rebecca who stressed herself. And you know how many gallons of water that camel consumes? So the servant said, this must be the one.
So technically, you are agreeing to her. The character is one of the elements.
Character is very
And
important.
another
Also,
thing-
what's
Respect also is also there. When we say character is not enough, of course, there must be an element of respect. You must honor your man. You must respect your husband.
So
honor your man and then you keep honoring the man and the man in turn
never
does not
honor
even know that
No,
he in turn should respect his wife. You see,
No.
in
I think that's when the man's honor comes in. Man honors you by like loving you in return.
Thank you.
That's when the honor comes back. That's when you respect
If
him.
a man is-
Of course, there's something that should be you don't just give an honor to a man and the man is not like he's reciprocating something that you know.
let's
One has to be
let's
reciprocated.
listen to what Christy said. And after that, we're going to have 1 minute for each person. And we're going to end this discussion.
okay.
So marriage has to do with, aside from prayer, it also has to do with sacrifices. Now, when you're talking about sacrifices, you don't expect the woman alone to make the sacrifices. If I give, they say respect itself is reciprocal. If I respect you, you have to respect me as well. Because if you keep eating your hand to the wall and expect that your hand doesn't have bruises, that's a lie. You understand? So if you, as a married man, you look at your wife and say, okay, this person is my half. You see your wife as your half. There is no how that marriage would not work. Like what you just said now, and you're like, oh, the man, you have to love your man. There's so many people you would love. You will love them from now to next year, and they will still treat you bad. They will manipulate everything you say and they will kick against it. So sometimes, even when we mix all of this with prayers, like we said, prayer is very, very important. Sometimes when we mix all of this with prayers, our individual attitude, I could be praying for something and God will be blessing me with that thing, and my attitude will be saying, no, I don't want this thing that God is giving to me. I'll just deviate away from it. So when I keep deviating from what God wants for me, even in prayers, at the end of the day, that marriage will scatter. So no matter how you try, no matter how you communicate, does your partner listen? I could communicate to you from now to next year. You might just be looking at me, but you're not listening. You're not understanding what I'm saying. I could come to you to tell you my pains, but you're not listening. You're not getting what I'm saying. So marriage itself is like that. So it's not just about one person.
Yes. So above all, marriage should not only be reliant on prayers. Let's constantly strive to become a better version of ourselves. Learn to communicate more. Develop your mind in such a way that if your partner is saying something, you wouldn't just see it as if he or she is nagging or he or she is trying to be controlling. So all these things goes hand in hand, and let us be mindful of things we feed ourselves on social media or things we hear from people. Your other person's experience does not have to be your own. Your own experience, or you don't have to use other person's experience to shape your own mindset or your own marriage. In short.
Yeah, let's go to.
So, based on what you said about social media, I saw a post where somebody was saying, your parents have been married for 30 years and they're not your role model. But the celebrity that has married and broken up for 2 years is not your role model. So back to what I say, the foundation at this point is no longer working for us. Our parents married, like my parents, they didn't see each other before they got married. But they are thriving because they married for the right reasons, whether they are rich or poor, or whether beauty or no beauty. They are there because these are people that have looked at themselves. It doesn't mean they don't have bad characters. They all have imperfections. But are you willing to walk? Even in prayer, it takes two to tango. It takes two for water. If you are together, that means you have to pray together and God will answer you. So I feel we need to go back to the foundation. Marriage should not be transactional. It should be two people let's click together.
I agree with you honestly, because as a Christian living in marital life with your partner, you have to understand your partner. Marriage is not meant to be enjoyed by one party and the other person to be enduring.
True.
Both of you need to come together. When you need to pray, you pray together, you listen to each other, you communicate everything you do should be together, in partnership with one another. Don't say because I am the head, or you say because I am the one that is providing more. There's some marriage that the women provide more.
True.
And then because you are the woman that's providing more, you now want to start misbehaving over the man. It still does not mean that you as a man, you should not also respect your woman, even when she's the one providing. You listen to each other. That way you see understanding will come in, and both of them will live very well in peace and in harmony. All these disagreements that are not very unnecessary in marriage, it will not be there.
So for me, communication is key. Irrespective of our differences, our quarrel, our fight, once the marriage is Christ-centered, let's communicate. Where are we getting it wrong? For me, communication.
Alright, for me, I think the basis of marriage is the foundation should be Jesus Christ. And I will agree with what she said, it takes two to tango. If you are the only person that are actively striving to make this thing work, you are going to get tired. And in the end, it's not going to give anything to both of you. It can't work.
So finally, I think we get to the end of the episode. It's been an interesting time to have all my friends here today. They make us understand that prayers is not the only finality to the sustenance of marriage. So you need to work hard. You need to make relationship work by communication. You make it work by sacrifice. You make it work by being available, doing your duties, sacrificing your efforts into making it, sustaining it. Prayer is not the only key that are the factors that keeps marriage. We should all endeavor to make sure that we have characters that fit into sustaining our marriage, apart from just praying and praying and praying alone. And I thank you very much for listening. We are coming back again next time, and we be sure we're going to make you a very interesting topic next time. And if you have any topic that you'd like us to discuss, please put it below. I would definitely be willing to discuss about it. And don't forget to follow our social media platforms. We are there to make sure that you're educated about the things of God. Following the frequency life, you will always be tuned to how to live a Christian life and how to navigate your life in this world that we're in. Thank you. Till we see you again. Have a great day. Stay safe.